Now it should say end live.
It does now.
Okay, we are here, guys.
Just have to squeeze through right here. And I'll put this, and I think have the phone near me in case she calls.
Well, I don't want anybody calling. Put the phone in the other room or something. I do not care for phone calls in the middle of the...
I understand. All right, going out here. Oh, and it's for this Lulu stuff.
Well, you stuck, Lulu. Lulu was stuck. What happened, Lulu? Did you get stuck?
She got stuck.
Well, I'm glad you made it. That's right.
Now I shall squeeze in here. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
She's here.
We are 1 o'clock in 1 minute, 1:01.
Okay. Do
And
we
I-
have any viewers yet?
Oh, wait, I have to get my tablet together. So I didn't have that done. Pardon me momentarily, folks.
We've been battling technical issues all morning long, and
Yes.
we got everything working, we think, except for our little text information about our tip jar, but it'll be back next time.
And let's see. There we are. Ziggy. Hi, George and Lynn. Greetings from Germany.
Hello, Siggy.
Nancy Beatty is watching
Nancy?
with you.
Nan? Hello.
Hi, Nan.
Good to see you guys.
I don't want to get buried in the tablet. Connie Hayes. Hi from Montana. Wow.
Hello, Connie.
Hi.
Welcome to our home down here
Yes.
in the wilds of Alabama.
Indeed.
Glad to have you.
Oh, yeah.
By
Well,
golly.
to our virtual back porch.
Yeah, that's right. Well, to this time, it's our virtual dinner table.
Dinner table, yes.
Because this show is all about food.
Nan says hi.
Hey,
And,
Nan.
So good to
Good to see you.
And Debbie Lane, hello from Colorado.
Hello, Debbie.
Hello, Debbie.
From Colorado. Boy, people are checking in from everywhere today.
Yes.
This show, the title of this show is Down Home Potluck, and it has to do with food. It's production, it's consumption, and it's what happens if you eat a little too much of it sometimes.
Oh, Becky Sims is watching.
Hey, Beck.
Hi, Beck.
Welcome. Glad you could
Yes.
come.
So good.
Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving out there.
Yes, all of you, in fact.
Indeed. Well, those of you who celebrate it.
Well,
Not
yes.
everybody
Not everybody
celebrates
does.
it. Ziggy, for example, does not. And this year, a lot of people didn't, but I think the fact that we're all still here and COVID-free is something to definitely be thankful for.
Indeed.
So, we are going to begin this thing. Food. So you get up in the morning, the first thing you want...
Rick Candy. Rick from Massachusetts says hi. And I don't know that I said your
Hello,
name right.
Rick.
I'm sorry.
How do you spell it?
Cande. Cande. Cande.
We apologize, Rick.
I'm sorry.
We're just hicks from Alabama. We don't
And
know how to
Joe.
pronounce
Joe
it.
Harrell. Joe's
Hey,
here.
Joe from Texas, I believe.
Yes, and Marie Maury. Hi from south of France.
Hello,
Hi,
Marie.
Marie.
Bonjour.
I don't speak French.
I don't either. I used to, but I haven't done it for so long that I've lost the knack. So, we are going to start this out as we would every morning. You get up in the morning, you have some breakfast, and a cup of coffee. But you got to have a proper cup of coffee. And the song is called A Proper Cup of Coffee, and it was written by Bert Lee and R.P. Weston. And so a lot of people have done this, but here we go. go. Sultan sat on his oriental mat in his harem in downtown Persia. He took a sip of coffee, just a drip, and he said to his servant, curse ya. Ah, curse ya, curse ya, curse ya. Oh, that's the worst cup of coffee in Persia. 'Cause all I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper cup of coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. You can sing along on that chorus. You'll pick it up right away. And as soon as you got it, feel free to join right in.
Oh, sure.
She's laughing at me.
I'll stop that now.
In days of old, when knights and men were bold and whiskey was much cheaper, Ben Turpin rode to a coffee shop and showed his pistol to the keeper. And he said, stand and deliver. Can't you see I'm all a quiver? 'Cause all I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. Got it? I knew you'd get it.
Yeah.
All you want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. You may be off your dot, but you want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. See, I can't do it either.
Yes. Good.
Bonaparte found that he was in the cart when he lost that Waterloo fight. He gave his sword to Wellington, my lord, and said, those British can't have fight. You've had your Waterloo, sir. Tell me what am I having with you, sir? 'Cause all I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea.
Almost had it that time.
Right. King Solomon and his queen would carry on, so we read in the ancient scandals. He gave her lots of silver coffee pots with diamond legs and handles, and said the Queen of Sheba, I'd rather have any old tea bag, 'cause all I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper cup of coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper cup of coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea.
Yes. Wow. Connie said, wow, that was close. Oh, my.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. Okay, we've got to have a little breakfast now that we've had our proper cup of coffee.
Ziggy said, I'm having right now a cup of tea. And I never had a copper coffee pot.
I don't think anybody else has either, other than R.P. Weston and Bert Lee. They apparently have one, but I first heard that done by a group of people on a radio program over here called the Dr. Demento Show. And I said, man, I got to learn that, because I love the unusual and offbeat and funny stuff best. So we'll have a little breakfast. Now, when I was a kid, breakfast was a real occasion, because we had several different kinds of breakfast cereal available. Oh. And we bought...
I remember.
Yeah, and we'd buy them
Rick
based on...
said candy is pronounced like candy, as I said the first time. I did
right.
have it
You
right.
did it right.
I did it right.
Hey, that's real good.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know, Rick. Thank you.
Indeed. This is a song that was written and sung by one of my comedic heroes, Don Bowman, on his 1962 Our Man in Trouble album, and it's called The Breakfast Food Song. I bought myself some breakfast food and then rushed home with glee. I poured it all out on the floor to see what I got free. Be the first kid in your block to rule the world, young man. Then I seen it lying there, a set of A-bomb plans. Would you believe what they're putting in breakfast food these days? I hang the prizes on the wall and then I throw the cereal away. My brother bought some breakfast food. It held the priceless ring. It glowed and had a secret code, turned his finger green. It had a secret hiding place, but I was not convinced. He crawled inside to prove me wrong, and I ain't seen him since. Would you believe what they're putting in breakfast food these days? I hang the prizes on the wall and then I throw the cereal away. I come home very late last night. I woke up half asleep. I stumbled in the kitchen to get a bite to eat. I felt a lump go down my throat. Oh, there was such pain. I never been so happy. A yo-yo had a string. Would you believe what they're putting in breakfast food these days? I hang the prizes on the wall and then I throw the cereal away. Airplanes, yo-yos, hand grenades, a whistle for your pocket. Last week I even bit the nose cone off a SpaceX rocket. Football cards of all the teams, it shows which ones are best. But old Tom Brady and my shredded wheat's a little more than I can digest. Would you believe what they're putting in breakfast food these days? I hang the prizes on the wall and then I throw the cereal away.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Used to get pretty cool stuff
Yes.
in those breakfast foods. I got a gyroscope one time, man. I wore that thing out.
Now, that was a good prize.
That, for me it was, because
Yeah.
it didn't require any vision to play with it. I mean, it was just...
Ziggy said, amazing what people make songs about.
Yes, it is.
Oh, there's a few more that will make you feel that way.
Indeed, indeed. This song is by Milo Hatzenberg. Milo Hatzenberg. I usually have these things right at my fingertips, but I have picks on my fingertips now, so they're not right at my fingertips.
No, that's you're making excuses.
That's right. We'll work it out. Anyway, this is a song called The Big Buffet. So we're up to lunchtime now. So you go to lunch.
Okay.
You want to go to a place,
buffet.
The Big Buffet. I saw the sign out on the street, $5.99, all you can eat. Now it's my favorite place to stay, and it's called the Big Buffet. Beef and beans, cheesecake and stew, a salad bar and wet cheese too. There's fish and pie and ham and pork. I wish that I had a bigger fork. Put chicken wings upon my plate. The food they serve is really great. You'll see me here most every day. I am one big buffet. I got my plate filled up just fine, but I'm just halfway through the line. I need room to hold some more. I need a plate on the second floor. Put chicken wings on my plate. My chores at home will have to wait. I'm like a cow knee-deep in hay. I am one with a big buffet. At the table my wife waits, surrounded by my empty plates. She brought a napkin to crochet, 'cause she knows we'll be here all day. No chicken wings upon my plate. I guess that I have met my fate. I'll have to eat at home today, for I've been banned from the big buffet. They kicked me out of the big buffet.
Connie says, I remember the Green Beret. Great song.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Barry Sadler did that song, The Ballad of the Green Beret.
Yes.
It's almost sacrilegious to do a parody of that, but hey, irreverence is one of my stocks in trade.
Well, you didn't make fun of the song. You just stole the tune.
I didn't do it.
Well, that's true. You didn't do it.
Hatzenberg did it. I just stole it from him,
That's
see?
right.
One bad turn deserves another, kind of thing. But if you haven't already done so, please follow the Autoharp Down Home page, and that way you'll get all the invitations to the shows, and you'll get a few extras now and then. But I don't clutter that page. It is not my personal page. It's strictly devoted to the Autoharp and the way I use and misuse it. So if you haven't already, please follow us over there, and you will be included in all of our future invitations. All right. Well, it is the holidays, and occasionally new old friends come by you haven't seen for a long time. You kind of want to do something special for them.
Nan said, LOL, I remember those buffets.
Oh,
I
me
do
too. They obviously were not viable, but too many people like our hero must have hit them.
Oop. Sorry, I bumped my microphone there.
Al Hoffman and company wrote this, and Eileen Barton sang it. It's called If I Knew You Were Coming, I'd Have Baked a Cake. And Miss Linda's going to solo on this one. You ready?
I hope.
Okay.
Yes. Come in. Well, 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 look who's here. I haven't seen you in many a year. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake, baked a cake, baked a cake. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? Had you dropped me a letter, I'd have hired a band, grandest band in the land. Had you dropped me a letter, I'd have hired a band and spread the welcome mat for you. Oh, I don't know where you came from, and I don't know where you've been, but it really doesn't matter. Grab a chair and fill your platter and dig, dig, dig right in. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake, baked, hired a band. Goodness sake, if I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake, baked a cake, baked a cake. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? Had you dropped me a letter, I'd have hired a band, grandest band in the land. Had you dropped me a letter, I'd have hired a band and spread the welcome mat for you. Oh, I don't know where you came from, 'cause I don't know where you've been, but it really doesn't matter. Grab a chair and fill your platter and dig, dig, dig right in. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake, baked a band. Goodness sake, if I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? How'd you do, 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 do? Well, wheels came off on me on that one a little bit.
Oh, don't worry about it. Ain't no thing. Ivan Stiles made a real good comment last week. When you make a mistake, don't apologize. Just keep going.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we had a nice
Ziggy
piece of
said,
cake.
great instrumental break.
Thank
Yes,
you. Thank you.
I thought so too.
The original was done in the 40s or 50s. I really couldn't find out exactly when. But they had a Dixieland band behind it with slide trombones and trumpets and all this stuff. And so I had to do the break. Just had to do it. So we've had cake, and we aren't through with junk food yet.
Oh, Ziggy said a nice singing by Lynn.
Thank you.
Nan said loved it.
Good.
Loved that.
Glad
Thank
y'all
you.
liked it. I like to have Lynn join us and join in on things. One of these days, I'm trying to talk her into doing a whole show
Oh yeah.
where all I do is play the Autoharp and she does all the singing.
Well now.
We're working on it. She isn't there yet, but
I'm making a list of songs.
are you checking it twice? Are
That's
any of them
Christmas.
naughty? I hope they're all nice. Okay. Refresh myself from my Ozark Trail mug that keeps things hot or
Or
cold,
cold.
depending upon what they were like when you poured them in there.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's just nothing like junk food. Everybody's
Uh-oh.
done it,
Yep.
and some of them even admit it. Here's a song that was done by Larry Gross. Pardon me. And as far as I know, it's the only hit that he ever had. Back in 1974 or 5. It's called Junk Food Junkie. Let me try to get my fingers untangled. I love that organic cooking, and I always ask for more. They call me Mr. Natural, on down to the health food store. I only eat good sea salt, white sugar don't touch my lips. And my friends are always begging me to take them on macro-body trips. Yes, they are. At night I take out my strong box that I keep under lock and key. Go back to my closet where nobody else can see. And I open that door so slowly and I look out north and south. Then I pull out a Hostess Twinkie and pop it in my mouth. In the daytime I'm Mr. Natural, just as healthy as I can be. But at night I'm a junk food junkie. Good Lord, have pity on me. Now at lunchtime you can always find me at the Whole Earth Vitamin Bar, sucking down a plain white yogurt from a hand-thrown pottery jar. Then I sip a little hand-pressed cider, have a carrot stick for dessert, wipe my face in a natural way on the sleeve of my peasant shirt. Oh yeah. But when the clock strikes midnight and I'm all by myself, I work that combination on my secret hideaway shelf. And I pull out some Fritos corn chips, Dr. Pepper, and an old moon pie. And I sit back in glorious expectation of a genuine junk food high. In the daytime I'm Mr. Natural, just as healthy as I can be. But at night I'm a junk food junkie. Good Lord, have pity on me. Now the folks down at the commune, they think I'm pretty neat. I don't know nothing about arts and crafts, but I give 'em all something to eat. I'm a friend of old Yule Gibbons, and I only eat homegrown spice. I got a John Keats autographed Grecian urn filled up with my brown rice. Yes, I do. All but friends, lately I have been spotted with a Big Mac on my breath, stumbling into a Colonel Sanders with a face as white as death. I'm afraid someday they'll find me just stretched out on my bed with a can of Pringles potato chips and a ding-dong by my head. In the daytime I'm Mr. Natural, just as healthy as I can be. But at night I'm a junk food junkie. Good Lord, have pity on me.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Larry Gross. All right. Moving right along.
Kiligrue Soiree for lives in
Oh, no. The next song that I'm going to sing is an old Newfoundland folk song that was written down in the 1920s, and the Newfies borrowed it from the Irish, who called it the Irish Jubilee. The Newfoundland version is called the Kiligrue Soiree. You may talk of Clara Nolan's ball or anything you choose. It couldn't hold a snuff box to the spree at Kiligrue's. If you want your eyeball straightened, then come next week with me. You'll have to wear your glasses at the Kiligrue Soiree. There was birch, rind, tard, twine, cherry wine and turpentine, jowls and cavallasses, a ginger beer and tea, pig's feet, cat's meat, dumplings boiled in a sheet, dandelions and cracky's teeth at Kiligrue Soiree. Oh, I borrowed Clooney's beaver as I squared my yards to sail. A swallowtail from Hogan was foxy on the tail. Bill Cuddy, he's old working pants and Patsy Nolan shoes, and an old white vest from Fogarty to sport at Kiligrue's. There was Jim, there was Ben, Millie, Joe, Willie, Tan and Mrs. Tilly, dancing like a little filly, 'twould raise your heart to see. Jim Bryan, Din Ryan, Flipper Smith and Caroline, I tell you boys, we had a time at Kiligrue Soiree. When I arrived at Betsy Snooks that night at 8:30, the place was blocked with carriages, stood waiting at the gate. With Clooney's funnel on me pate, the first words Betsy said, "Here comes a local preacher with the pulpit on his head." There was Bill Muse, Dan Hughes, Wilson, Taft and Teddy Roos, and Bryant was sitting in the blue. The Saratoga Lancers first, Betsy kindly said, "Should I dance with Nancy Cronin and her granny on the head?" Hogan danced with Betsy, oh, you should have seen his shoes, as he lashed old muskets from the rack that night at Kiligrue's. There was boiled guineas, cold guineas, bullocks' heads and little winnies, everything to catch the pennies would break your sides to see. Boiled duck, cold duck, apple jam was in the cup. I tell you boys, we had enough at Kiligrue Soiree. Crooked Flavin struck the fiddler, and a hand I then took in. You should see George Clooney's beaver flattened at the rim, and Hogan's coat looks like a vest, the tails are gone, you see. Says I, the devil haul ye and your Kiligrue Soiree.
Wow. That's some party.
Not too bad.
That's some party, really.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, goodness.
The Kiligrue Soiree. Lots of foods
Those
there.
Newfoundlanders.
Yeah,
Look at
most
them.
of which I've never heard of, but
I know.
I'm sure somebody's obviously eating them somewhere.
Right.
Okay. Mason Williams is a guitar player extraordinaire who was primarily known for his the hit that he had with a song called Classical Gas.
Ooh, yeah.
But Mason is also a comedian. He writes poems about them,
Oh, yeah.
this and that, them beaver cleavers, them toad suckers, and all these
Moose
things.
goosers.
Moose goosers,
Moose
and
goosers.
other such unmentionables. You would bring that one up. I wasn't going to mention that one, but okay.
Well,
So we got kind of on a kick there, where these are almost like limericks in that they have a certain format. They
Right.
all have the same format. So we wrote a few of our own,
yes.
and here's one. If I can remember it, I'm the one that wrote it.
I know. That was me.
It's called Them Bread Bakers. How about them bread bakers? Ain't they wise? Kneading that bread dough, watching it rise. Baking that white bread, baking whole wheat, baking banana bread, fluffy and sweet. Look at them bread bakers. Ain't they fans? adding fresh yeast, greasing loaf pans, them batter beating bread bakers, mixing that dough, putting it in loaves, shaped just so. How to be a bread baker, no way to fake it. Make yourself some bread dough and go ahead and bake it.
There you go.
That's all you got to do.
That's right.
And I'm telling you what, Miss Linda makes a mean loaf of white bread.
Why,
Now,
thank
it
you.
is good.
I did get the recipe from my older sister, Nan. Nancy
okay.
Beatty.
So it is a Wolfgang family recipe.
It is.
Then.
Well.
Okay. Well, that's good. I like that.
Deborah Lynn Brace McInnes.
Debbie.
Happy Thanksgiving, George and Lynn.
Same to you and your family,
Yes,
Debbie.
I
Glad
hope
you
had-
could find a little time to join us today.
And Paul Boxmeyer. Hi, George and Lynn. Arrived
Paul.
late for the concert. Hillary Robinson. Hi there, George and Lynn. And Ziggy. I see by the comments that I've missed the Coffee Pot song. What a shame. My favorite.
Well.
Oh. Yeah, he was in rare form on that one today, too.
Let's try lifting the right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was. But you know, Hillary, you can go back and listen to it, and you're perfectly. I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming.
Oh,
Welcome to our home.
welcome.
And I hope you caught a little bit of Kiligrue Soiree.
Yes.
If you didn't, you definitely want to hear that one.
That one's fun.
Here is a sing-along song
Oh, one
that
of
was
them.
done by one of them. Oh no, not again.
See, the Coffee Pot's one of those.
This one was done by Tom Glazer in 1964. And it's a sing-along song. So, children, I'm going to go through a little bit of it, and then you'll have your chance to sing it with me. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor, and then my poor meatball rolled out of the door. It rolled in the garden and under a bush, and then my poor meatball was nothing but mush. All right, children, I'll say the words, and then we'll sing them together, okay?
Okay.
On top of spaghetti.
On top of spaghetti.
All covered with cheese.
All covered with cheese.
I lost my poor meatball.
I lost my poor meatball.
When somebody sneezed. When somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table.
It rolled off the table.
And onto the floor.
And onto the floor.
And then my poor meatball rolled out of the door.
Rolled out of the
door. It rolled in the garden.
It rolled in the garden.
And under a bush. And then
bush.
my poor meatball.
And then my poor meatball
was nothing but mush.
Was nothing but mush.
And the mush was as tasty. And the
Mush was as tasty.
As tasty could be.
As tasty could be.
And early next summer.
And early next summer.
It grew into a tree. It grew into a tree. And the tree was all covered.
And the tree was all covered
with beautiful moss.
With beautiful moss.
It grew lovely meatballs.
It
grew lovely meatballs and tomato sauce and
tomato sauce.
So if you eat spaghetti,
So if you eat spaghetti,
all covered with cheese,
all covered with cheese,
hang on to your meatball. meatball. Hang on to your meatball. And don't ever sneeze.
And don't ever sneeze. Ziggy said, I encountered On Top of Spaghetti more than 50 years ago in a music book that came with my Magnus chord organ. I do believe it's been around a while.
I had one of those.
You did?
Yeah, we did. We got it for Christmas one year. And everybody else left the chord. It's like the one I'm thinking of. It had a keyboard, couple of octaves. It had a little electric fan in there. You turned it on, and it would rev up, and then you could play the keys. And then at the left side, it had buttons. It had a couple rows of buttons, kind of like the Autoharp. And you could play chords with the buttons and then play melody with your other hand. Oh, yeah, we had that thing for years. My sisters played around with it. I played around with it. It was great. Thanks for mentioning that, Ziggy. It brought back very pleasant memories indeed.
Red hot chili cook-off Ray Stevens on top of spaghetti top plate. Red hot chili cook-off Ray Stevens.
Okay. Well, we go from spaghetti to a food that you have to be careful about. This is a song by Ray Stevens, who is, again, one of my comedic heroes. It's called The Red Hot Chili Cook-Off. Oh, I write to you for the last time from my deathbed, oh dear mother. My health is gone, I'm fading fast, and I fear I'll not recover. I've lost 100 pounds, my hair, my sight, and my illness had its nexus. The day I judged the red hot chili cook-off in Jalapeno, Texas. Now, as you know, in Tennessee, you fed us normal things, like Tabasco-flavored barbecue and spicy chicken wings. But I got a friend down here in Texas who's a chili cook-off judge, and on the day of the statewide cook-off, he lay sick and could not budge. I'm sicker than a dog, he said. You'll have to take my place. All you gotta do is pick the chili you like after giving them all a taste. So I did what I felt I had to do to help out my old friend. And that decision ruined my life and brought me to this sorry end. Do not eat Texas chili, mama, or you will surely die. Don't even mention Texas chili to me, and I'll tell you why. Just a thought will fire up memories that will wreck my solar plexus of the day I judged the red hot chili cook-off in Jalapeno, Texas. They led me to the judge's stand and sat me in my place. Put 3 bowls of chili in front of me, just a sample, just a taste. Number 1 was dragon's breath, and it had such a nice aroma. I took a big old bite and nearly slipped into a coma. Oh, Lord! Oh, sweet Lord, what is this stuff? My uvula's on fire. My ears are ringing and my nose is running and my feet are starting to perspire. Number 2 was called Flamethrower, and it was not misnamed. One taste, my eyes, ears, nose, and throat all shot out long blue flame. Help! Somebody call 911. I don't think I can breathe. I can't seem to catch my breath. All I can do is wheeze. Then I heard somebody screaming uncontrollably. I turned to see who it was, and Lord have mercy, it was me. Well, the winner was just called Charlie's Chili. Sounded innocent enough, but it knocked me backwards off the stand with just one taste of the stuff. I went running to find a doctor or an ice-cold bottle of water. I downed a keg of beer and 6 snow cones, and it only made me hotter. Whoa! It has been a year now, and I can only sip a smoothie now and then. Every time I try some solid food, the flames flare up again. I'm galled, burned, and blistered from my mouth down to my colon, and what little skin that I have left is inflamed and badly swollen. So I write to you, dear mother, just to say goodbye, and to warn you and the family of just one thing before I die. Do not eat Texas chili. It'll put you in the ground. And if somehow you should survive, you won't be able to sit down. Do not eat Texas chili, mama, or you will surely die. Don't even mention Texas chili to me, and I'll tell you why. Just the thought will fire up memories that will wreck my solar plexus of the day I judged the red hot chili cook-off in Jalapeno, Texas.
Goodness.
Yeah. I used to eat. I had a friend who was good friends with a community of Laotians in Huntsville, Alabama. And those people make Texas chili look like soda pop because they had to keep their food in the jungle, so they had to spice the everlasting aspirations out of it so it didn't spoil. And my buddy couldn't eat it. He just couldn't. And I got to where I really liked it. And those guys invited me to eat with them every chance they got because my ears turned red, my ears were ringing, and my nose was running, my feet were starting to perspire just like
all
in the
these
song.
things.
But I didn't care. I just kept on eating. I said, man, this is good. Y'all try it. You know. And they all thought it was the funniest thing to watch me eat their food, but I really liked it. They were a great bunch of people, but they sometimes couldn't get above their raisin. Sometimes they'd go back to their roots with potentially disastrous results. One day they came running up, came out to Steve and said, Steve, we find food, lots of food. You know those underpasses under the freeway? Pigeons, lots of pigeons. We go shoot lots of pigeons. Steve said, no, they'll take you to jail. You can't do that.
You do that.
They were ready, boy. They were gonna get in some free food.
You know, you were talking about the chord organ.
Yeah.
Ziggy said, yes, it is just as you tell.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
I did have that message before we did the cook-off one.
I see. Okay. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that thing. I wish I had one today. Okay, well, we've been eating a lot of food and regretting a lot of food and everything, but let's do a couple of songs in tribute to the people who raise the food that we eat. Here's one that was done in 1965 by Dick Curlis. It's called Tater Raisin Man. Tater, tater, raisin, raisin, Tater Raisin Man. Tater, tater, raisin, raisin, Tater Raisin Man. He's brown from too much sunshine, tired from too much toil, weary to the bone from trying to scrape a living out of nothing but rocky soil. Well, a poor old tater farmer, it's a wonder he ain't dead. I was talking to one about a few days ago, and I swear this is what he said. He said, I dig 'em up, pick 'em up, put 'em in the barrel, put the big old barrel on the tater truck. If you're gonna make money out of raising these spuds, well, you sure need a whole lot of luck. If the blight don't come in the middle of the year, if the pickers come when I call, if the bank holds off on the money I owe, and the frost don't come too soon this fall, I got 'em in the ground and I can't quit now, but you won't see me grieving. I bet you $5 is my best year yet, 'cause it looks like I'm gonna break even. Tater, tater, raisin, raisin, Tater Raisin Man. Tater, tater, raisin, raisin, Tater Raisin Man. I got 'em in the ground and I can't quit now, but you won't see me grieving. I bet you $5 is my best year yet, 'cause it looks like I'm gonna break even.
Homegrown tomatoes, Guy Clark and Seed.
All right. This one is by Guy Clark, and it's called Homegrown Tomatoes. Ain't nothing in the world that I like better than bacon, lettuce, and homegrown tomatoes. Up in the morning, out in the garden, get you ripe and don't get a harden. Plant 'em in the spring, eat 'em in the summer. All winter without 'em's a culinary bummer. I forget about all the sweating and digging every time I go out and pick me a biggin'. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Well, you can go out to eat, that's for sure, but it's nothing a homegrown tomato won't cure. Put 'em in a salad, put 'em in a stew. You can make your very own tomato juice. You can eat 'em with eggs, eat 'em with gravy, eat 'em with beans, pinto or navy. Put 'em on the side, put 'em in the middle. Put a homegrown tomato on a hot cake griddle. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Now if I could change this life I lead, I'd be Johnny Tomato Seed. 'Cause I know what this country needs, and that's homegrown tomatoes in every yard you see. When I die, don't you bury me in a box in a cemetery. Out in the garden, be much better, 'cause I could be pushing up homegrown tomatoes. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes.
A song dedicated to tomatoes.
That's right.
I have a dog over here. This dog. She is snuggling up to me.
Well,
She can't get over where
he's playing buttons.
he's playing buttons. To go over and see your person.
Hi, Lulu.
Go now. Go over there. You're a good girl.
That's all right. She
That's
has
a
a
good dog.
She has her
Well,
show
there
song
she
coming
is.
up. Hi, girl.
There she is.
For those of you who may not know, this is my
We're
faithful guide dog,
Yes.
Lulu, my constant companion, who has led me through the last 7.5 years of my life.
Connie
Actually,
said, I have one from Connie. Love your strumming technique. Gives me some ideas. I'm just
thank you.
starting the auto harp.
Oh, cool.
Oh, hey.
You know, if you're not already on it, you should join the Cyberpluckers mailing list, man. All the cool auto harp players hang out there. It's the most helpful group of people you'll ever meet. I didn't know any better. That's why I play the auto harp the way I do. I wanted to play the guitar and the banjo, and I was playing them wrong. I was fretting the strings with the balls of my fingers instead of the tips. I didn't know any better. And I started to form calluses, as guitar and banjo players are wont to do, but they were on this part of my finger, and I need that to read Braille, to feel things, to figure things out. I just can't, I couldn't do it. And I was moaning about it to one of my college roommates, and he said, well, play the auto harp. And
Ziggy said, apropos taters, a German proverb says, the stupidest farmers grow the biggest potatoes.
okay. I'm sure there's a meaning there somewhere. Actually, you should be grateful for the stupid farmers.
Yeah.
Because, you wouldn't have any taters to eat otherwise. But I developed all this on my own. I didn't know that everybody put the auto harp up on their shoulder. I put it on my lap. All my roommate knew was you crossed your hands.
Right.
So I put it on my lap and I crossed my hands, and then I started, and then I went, and then I thought, well, and I thought, wow. And then I thought, all five. And it went on from there.
You should go on from there. Yeah.
Any excuse will do.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want good finger picks, you'll notice not one of them left my hand.
Right.
Not one.
Right. Neither did your fingers leave
Neither
your
did my
hand.
fingers. That's true. Not one finger or finger pick left my hands. I bet you that you'd go a long way before you found finger picks that would state that. I've gone through a bowl full of them. And like I say, these shifted just a little bit. I had to turn that one back a little the way it goes. But they stayed there. So if you ever want to play with finger picks and you've got a little bit of fingernail, you have to have a little bit of nail for these because they go underneath the nail. There's a little piece that goes under there. But, man, they're just like playing with bare nails. I played with bare nails for 45 years. I've only been playing with these for 3 or 4 months, and I'm a walking, talking billboard. Hi, Lulu.
Ziggy said, yes, please. The Foggy Mountain Breakdown. 3 smile faces. And then he said, wow, now in supersonic speed. And Connie Hayes said, have you played all your life? And Nancy Beatty said, woo, love it. And Becky said, I'm now so energized to get stuff done. That's what happens to me.
Don't leave yet.
Right. No, not yet.
Have I played all my life? Well, not in the womb, no, but...
No, but you have
No,
since...
I started playing the Autoharp in 1975. So
Yeah, so it's been a few years.
I've wasted 45 years of my life. No, just had a great time.
Lulu, sweet girl. I don't know what you want.
She just
wants
to be
me
in
to
the show,
pet her.
that's all.
She shouldn't be in the show.
All
That's a
right.
good
Well,
girl.
let's see. Where were we?
Oh,
5 pounds of possum, homegrown.
Oh, yes.
5 pounds of possum mixture.
Okay.
Howard said, so after saying how great the picks are, how about naming them?
Oh, they're called
That is-
naming them. They are
What are they?
Alaska finger picks. I thought I said that, but I may not.
I don't think you
Okay.
did, come
They're
to think of
called-
it.
They're called Alaska finger picks. I bought them on Amazon, and I think they were like $14, and you get 12 of them.
Right, and you can
And
file,
then-
if you want to, you can cut them and file them, but
I did that with a set and
The-
basically wrecked them.
yeah, we weren't happy. But
we-
if you're careful, I
Yeah.
think you can do that sort of thing with them.
And then this thumb pick, I don't know. I think it's a Kelly, one of Fred Kelly's picks, but I
I
really
think it
can't-
is.
I don't know. I'll find out. But it's just a generic, kind of thumb pick. But yeah, these are called Alaska finger picks, and you can get them in medium and large. I don't know if they come in small size or not. These are mediums, and like I said, I've got enough fingernail. What happened, Howard, was I started practicing with these to save my nails, because one of the shows I did a while ago, I broke 2 nails the week of the show practicing. So I said, well, I'm going to practice with these. And then I found out that I could do all kinds of precision things and get a lot more volume out of the Autoharp without having to dig into the strings so hard. So my hand can just, where before it was kind of digging in and clawing at the strings to get some volume. So after a while, I took them off a couple of days before a show, to practice up. And I said, well, I don't like this anymore. So I just put them on, and I've had them on ever since.
Howard said, thanks. I have some so small that the only finger they fit on is my pinky. Yeah. These
are pretty good, and let me take one of them off. They spread. So see, you could have them as small as that, or you could spread them out quite a bit.
I think you're holding, let's see.
I don't know if people can see
Not from there, because you were holding it out to
You show them what I'm trying to
Okay,
explain.
I'm going to get up and walk toward the camera, and that way people
Yeah,
can see.
I don't understand video at all, y'all. So
Well, yeah. Okay, I'm going to hold it up close where you can actually, I hope anyway. Let me see if I can put it there.
you'll get a delay.
Yeah, there'll be so let's see. I'm watching. Actually, it's kind of a long delay.
Well, just show them the
Yeah.
thing.
Anyway, there. I hope that was it. We
Yeah.
can't tell what we're doing exactly.
No, because we have our setup has a delay.
Okay, there. I did it. I can see on.
All right.
I
So-
only showed the front. I didn't show the other part.
Well,
but
that's
the
all right.
front's the
The,
important
the
part.
the thing is they
It grips
do
around
they do
like
spread
that.
out, and they grip around the tip of your finger, and they have a little piece that goes under the nail, and then see they just don't
Hit the
move.
mic again. I can't sit down without hitting that. There
That's
you go.
all right.
Bonk.
Don't
Sorry,
worry
guys.
too
I
much
hope
about
I
it.
didn't.
Okay, well we kind of got off into a little bluegrass there.
Homegrown to me. 5 pounds of possum mixture. Your choice.
So here's another bluegrass song called 5 Pounds of Possum. And
Oh,
this
no.
particular version was done by a bluegrass comedy guy named Leroy Troy back in 1958. My children are hungry, my dog needs a bone. I'm out of a job now, so I'm just driving home. An hour after sundown, and much to my delight, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. If I can run him over, everything will be alright. We'll have possum gravy, what a wonderful sight. There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. We won't have to kill a chicken or open any cans. If I can get just a little bit closer, he'll be right in my hands. I think it is time now to go from dim to bright. There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. If I can run him over, everything will be alright. We'll have possum gravy, what a wonderful sight. There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. If I can run him over, everything will be alright. We'll have possum gravy, what a wonderful sight. There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. Yum, yum. Roadkill for supper.
Howard said, thanks again. I could see them, meaning the pigs.
Oh, good. That's excellent. Yeah, get you some. They're great. And, you know, the other thing is, if they don't stick, and this is true for any finger pick, you can buy powdered rosin, like it comes in a little bottle. You can put that on your fingers, and it'll make finger picks stick. And then you can buy Scotch brand waterproof bandaging tape.
Is it Scotch? It had different.
Yeah. I think it's Scotch.
I can't think of the name of that.
It was a Scotch, but then they had a different name for it. Available in drugstores everywhere. Oh, we can show you that if anybody wants to see it. But if you wrap that around the tip of your finger, one round around the tip of your finger, you put a finger pick on, and it'll stay there.
Yes.
And you can leave that on all day. So if you're playing a gig in the afternoon and you're playing another gig in the evening, you know, you can leave it on if you want to. And people, what did you do to your hand? But man, picks stay put when you use that stuff. I got that idea from Hal Weeks, and it's great. Oh my goodness, we have another Them poem.
Oh,
this one's called Them Food Feuders.
is this one we wrote?
This is one we wrote.
We wrote this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about them food feuders? Ain't they crude? Sitting in the lunchroom, tossing they food, throwing they burgers, flinging they fries, slinging they milkshakes in everybody's eyes. Look at them food feuders. Ain't they a mess? Gravy on their trousers and mustard on their dress. Them flagellating food feuders acting so crazy. One thing's for certain, they sure ain't lazy. How to be a food feuder? If you'd like to know it, grab a wad of food and haul off and throw it.
There you go.
All you got to do.
That's right.
Piss off everybody.
It is amazing what people will write songs about.
It is. It is. Even me.
Yes.
I wish I had the talent to write songs. That'd be great. But they just don't come to me. Hank Williams said if it took more than a half hour to write a song, it wasn't worth doing. So some people got it and some people ain't.
Yep.
All right. The pause that refreshes. What was that? Was that Coke? The pause that refreshes?
No, wait a minute. Might have been a
Was it
cigarette.
7-Up? No, it was
It might have
soda.
been. It wasn't a cigarette.
I don't think so. Anyway.
Soda, coffee.
Hi, Lulu.
I can't remember, obviously.
Right.
RC Cola and a moon pie. RC Cola and a moon pie.
All right. Down here, and it's kind of a stereotypic joke. Folks in the South like, if some of them will even admit it, that they like RC Cola and moon pies. Now, moon pies are food that will probably be in archaeological digs and still edible. I mean, I don't know how they do it, but you can keep those in your cupboard for months, and you can still eat them. Reminds me of a story that I was told long before I moved down here, and if I tell it, they'll probably kick me back out. But
So don't tell.
no, this old boy goes into this place. He says, "Hey, give me an RC Cola and a moon pie." And he said, the store owner says, "You're from Alabama, ain't you?" And the guy gets mad. He says, "Now hold on just a minute here. If I come in here and I ask for spaghetti, would you say you must be from Italy?" He said, No, probably not. He said, "If I come in here and I ask for goulash, would you automatically say you must be from Hungary?" And he said, "Well, no, I guess I probably wouldn't." He said, "I come in here and I ask you for something simple like an RC Cola and a moon pie, and you say you must be from Alabama. Now, how come that is?" He said, "Well, this is a hardware store, and we're just not going to be able to help you."
RC Cola and a moon pie. Make no lister in.
Okay, here's a song about that. An RC
There's your
Cola
dog
and a
back.
moon pie and a Labrador
Retriever
Retriever.
who wants something.
Can't have anything.
You have to wait.
wait.
We're waiting. My dog is
Say,
waiting.
look, if you're going to use four-letter words at me, I might leave. Words like bath and stay and wait and words like that. We don't
Dogs,
like those
we don't like
four-letter
those
words.
words.
Here's a song by Bill Lister and his Texans called An RC Cola and a Moon Pie. Give me an RC Cola and a moon pie. Play maple on the hill. Won't catch that freight train on the fly. Leave my corn down at the mill. Well, I sold my calf for $1.50. Brother, I can pay the bill. So give me an RC Cola and a moon pie. Play maple on the hill. I've been riding saplings all day long, clearing Pap's new ground. But I'll be leaving before too long, headed into town. Now I am just a country boy, but I still get a thrill with an RC Cola and a moon pie. Play maple on the hill. I got a brand new pair of overalls, my brogans are greased and shine. I tell you boys, I did it all for that sweet gal of mine. We'll dance all night and come broad daylight, we'll be going still. With an RC Cola and a moon pie, play maple on the hill. Give me an RC Cola and a moon pie, play maple on the hill. I'm gonna catch that freight train on the fly, leave my corn down at the mill. Well, I sold my calf for $1.50, and brother, I can pay the bill. Give me an RC Cola and a moon pie, play maple on the hill.
Do you think I should take her out? She is bugging, and I don't know what's matters.
I don't.
This is serious bugging.
This is serious bugging, but she's
Yes.
done this the last several shows.
I don't know whether she's just tired of us doing it. So don't
Lulu,
don't
go
play
lay down.
buttons right
Go on,
now.
go on, go on.
Okay,
now.
she's going to knock this over.
Go on now. That's enough. That's enough.
This is my phone.
That's enough now. That's enough. No. Go lay
There
down.
you go. Did we get back? Okay.
I don't want to be harsh with you, but you can't do that. That's a good dog.
I don't correct her because it's not, or tell her what to do. I just
will.
pet her.
People, unless I'm not around or something and you correct my guide dog, you will seriously piss me off.
Yeah, it's not a good
And
thing.
you don't want to do that. Anyway, back to more fun things.
Yes.
Here is a song that was a marching song for the Confederacy during the Civil War. It's called Goober Peas. Anybody know what goober peas are? I'll wait a second.
I do.
You do.
Yeah.
Let's see if anybody's still out there.
Nobody is saying.
Nobody knows. Okay. Goober peas are peanuts.
Peanuts. Have some goobers.
Sitting by the roadside on a summer's day, chatting with my messmates, passing time away. Lying in the shadows underneath the trees, goodness how delicious, eating goober peas. Peas, 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 eating goober peas. Goodness how delicious, eating goober peas. When a horseman passes, the soldiers have a rule to cry out at their loudest, "Mister, here's your mule." But another pleasure enchantinger than these is wearing out your grinders, eating goober peas. Peas, 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 eating goober peas. Wearing out your grinders, eating goober peas. Just before the battle, the general hears a row. He says the Yanks are coming, I hear their rifles now. He turns around in wonder, and what do you think he sees? The Georgia militia eating goober peas. Peas, 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 eating goober peas. The Georgia militia eating goober peas. I think my song has lasted almost long enough. The subject's interesting, but the rhymes are mighty tough. I wish this war was over, free from rags and fleas. We'd kiss our wives and sweethearts and gobble goober peas. Peas, 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 gobble goober peas. We'll kiss our wives and sweethearts and gobble goober peas.
Yes, well, you had a few folks know.
Oh, okay.
Howard said yep,
Yep, goober peas.
and Nan
Howard's
said,
from Texas. He would know.
yeah, Nan said peanuts, and Hillary Robbins said I know, and Connie Hayes said haven't ever heard the whole song, and that's true of me too. I heard the chorus, but not the whole song.
Well,
So that's
glad
really
I could
neat.
glad I could turn you on to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, see, we have a wide knowledge base in this group. It's
That's
great to have
right.
you all with us today. It really is. And let us move on. Here is a Depression-era song that Josh hit Josh. Yeah, Josh. My tongue is tangled up my eye teeth. I can't see what I'm saying anymore.
Oh, that's right.
Josh White and AM.
Was written by Zaret Height, and a hit was made in the 30s with it by a guy named Josh White, and it's called One Meatball. A little man walked up and down, found an eating place in town. He looked the menu through and through to see what 15 cents could do. One meatball, one meatball. He could afford but one meatball. He told the waiter near at hand the simple meal he had planned. The folks were startled, one and all, when they heard that waiter loudly call, one meatball, one meatball. Hey, this here gent wants one meatball. The little man felt ill at ease, said some bread, sir, if you please. The waiter's voice rolled down the hall, you gets no bread with one meatball. One meatball, one meatball. You gets no bread with one meatball. Man felt very bad. One meatball was all he had, and now in his dreams he hears this call, you gets no bread with one meatball. One meatball, one meatball. You gets no bread with one meatball.
Hillary asked, do you know the Civil War parody Hardtack Come Again No More?
I don't. But if I had a pen right now, I would write that down. I would learn it. I've heard of Hard Times Come Again No More. I assume that's what it means. You know, that's what the parody is. Hardtack Come Again No More. I've eaten hardtack. Very strange stuff.
Oh, yeah, we used to call it ship's biscuits.
Yeah. No, ship's biscuit is not hardtack.
Oh, I thought it was.
It's different.
Same thing.
It's close. It's very similar, but it's not quite the same. I made that mistake when I was talking to your mother, who is a native Newfoundlander, and I was educated very quickly.
I see.
On that.
I should have been, being she was my mother, and I don't know how I got crossed up.
Well, so you never listened to your mother.
That's not true. Some might agree.
I never listened to mine. I wish I had sometimes.
It's amazing how wise they got as we got older.
Oh yeah, when I was 17, my parents were the dumbest two people in creation. It was a wonder to me they'd ever survive to adulthood, let alone to have us.
That's right.
And by the time I hit 25, it's amazing how much they'd learned. Here's a Hank Williams tune called Jambalaya on the Banks of the Bayou. Goodbye, Joe, me gotta go, me oh my oh. Me gotta go for the pirogue down the bayou. My Yvonne, the sweetest one, me oh my oh. Son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya and a crawfish pie and a Philly gumbo. For tonight I'm gonna see Mama Shaz and Mio. Pick guitar, fill food jar, and be gay. Son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Tippy-do, Fontano, the place is buzzing. Kinfolks come to see Yvonne by the dozen. Dress in style, go hog wild, me oh my oh. Son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya and a crawfish pie and a filet gumbo. For tonight I'm gonna see my Mishazamio. Pick guitar, fill food jar, and be gay, oh. Son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya and a crawfish pie and a filet gumbo. For tonight I'm gonna see my Mishazamio. Pick guitar, fill food jar, and be gay, oh. Son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou.
Connie said, thanks, didn't know that was Hank Williams.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, Hank Williams wrote that.
I have a Lulu again.
I know.
I think she wants something.
Well, if you want
I just feel better. Just go ahead and take her. I'll be right back.
to, okay. I'm going to do,
Just in case.
I'm going to do the Shel Silverstein poem while you're gone.
Alrighty.
Peanut butter sandwich, Shel Silverstein vocal.
Things were kind of frantic around here, come to think of it, before, and I took her out, but I'm not sure
She might not have.
that she went. What, now she doesn't want to leave?
You know how she wants you to do it.
Yeah.
She'll go. I'll be back.
Okay. Okay. I am going to, while Miss Linda is doing what I should have apparently done before the show, which is to tend to my dog. The thing about guide dogs are great, but they become like part of you, and you have to kind of schedule your life along with theirs so that both of you are happy all the time. And like I said at the beginning of the show, we had some technical difficulties. That's why our little crawler isn't at the bottom showing you how to donate to our tip jar. We were getting some really strange audio, or we were hearing everything twice. So I had to completely uninstall and reinstall a piece of the software we use and get it configured and everything. And there just wasn't time to get that particular piece in place, but we will. We'll have it back. In the meantime, if you are so inclined, we'd really appreciate it if you would stick a buck or two in our tip jar. Autoharp.down.home at gmail.com on PayPal. Every dime donated goes to, will be spent to get me to MLAG, to the Mountain Laurel Autoharp Gathering, whenever the next one happens to be. And if I'm still able and everything, and with your generosity, I'm going to go. And I'm going to do as much stuff there as it's possible for one human being to do, I'll tell you. I'm going to meet a lot of people that I've met online, and I'm going to learn a lot. I'm going to have a great time, and you're making it possible. You've been very, very generous so far. There she is. Are you happy now? Oh, good. Oh, good. There's Sadie. Sadie doesn't get in the camera because Sadie's shy. Hi, Sadie. Sadie's our Great Dane. Yeah, Sadie, and she's got a big old heart on the side of her neck.
Yes, she does. What you doing? Huh?
anyway,
Lindsay.
I really appreciate everybody's help. We are about 60% of the way. My goal is $1,500, which will take care of everything, I hope. And we are up to $915.36
Yes.
right now. And it's all because of your generosity, and we really, really appreciate it, folks. We really do. Here is a poem.
Wait, let's see.
Oh, you got some comments?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, catch me up.
Howard said, I'm my dog's guide person. Howard said, and also hoping to meet up with you at MLAG. Yes.
Oh, yeah, me too. Me too. Lulu and I will be there if everything works out the way we hope. My brother Dan I'm gonna fly to Detroit, and then Dan and I are gonna drive down. We're gonna get a motel room. We like to camp out, but neither one of us is really up for living in a tent, even for a day or two. So, and we're gonna do everything. He's gonna see that I get everywhere I want to go, and Lulu's gonna see to it that I get there safely, and we're just gonna have a ball. We really are.
I'll stay here and hold down the fort, as
That's
they used to say.
Hold down the. And I always wondered,
We always
is it
did
going to
that.
fly away?
No, man.
No, get it back.
We always
Reel it
used
in.
to say that, though. You
Yeah,
stay and hold down
the fort. Okay, back to business here. I am going to do a poem by Shel Silverstein. You wouldn't believe all the stuff that guy had wrote. He was something else.
Yeah, he was.
And here's a poem that he wrote that I hope you'll like. I'll sing you a story about a silly young king who played with the world at the end of a string. And he only loved one single thing, and that was just a peanut butter sandwich. His scepter and his royal gown, his regal throne, his golden crowns, were brown and sticky with mounds of drippings from each peanut butter sandwich. His subjects all were silly fools, for he had passed a royal rule that all that they could learn in school was how to make a peanut butter sandwich. He would not eat his sovereign steak. He scorned his soup and kingly cake, and told his courtly cook to bake an extra sticky peanut butter sandwich. And then one day he took a bite and started chewing with delight, and found his mouth was stuck quite tight around that last bite of peanut butter sandwich. His brother pulled, his sister pried, the wizard pushed, his mother cried, "My boy's committed suicide from eating his last peanut butter sandwich." The dentist came, and the royal doc. The royal plumber banged and knocked, but still his jaws were tightly locked. Oh, darn that sticky peanut butter sandwich. The carpenter, he tried with pliers. The telephone man tried with wires. The firemen, they tried with fire, but couldn't melt that peanut butter sandwich. With ropes and pulleys, drills and coil, with steam and lubricating oil, for 20 years of tears and toil, they fought that awful peanut butter sandwich. Then all his royal subjects came. They hooked his jaws with grappling chains and pulled both ways with might and main against that stubborn peanut butter sandwich. Each man and woman, girl and boy put down their pots and plows and toys and pulled until crack! Oh, joy! They broke right through that peanut butter sandwich. A puff of smoke, a screech, a squeak. The king's jaws opened with a creak, and in a voice so faint and weak, the first words that they heard him speak were, "How about a peanut butter sandwich?"
Oh dear.
Seems to me that some folks just
Never
learn.
learn.
I don't know. All right, we are going to take a step upward, and we're going to go from a peanut butter sandwich to a gourmet restaurant. This is a song about a good old boy who just never will appreciate the finer things in life, at least the way most people define them to be. It's another Ray Stevens tune. It's called Gourmet Restaurant. Let's see here.
Well, Connie said, take care. See you again.
Okay, Connie, wonderful to have you. Please come back. We do this every other Saturday, and we really enjoyed having you. I went to the Chez Paris. The food was good there, I was told. They said I ought to try that there vichyssoise, and when they brought it, heck, it was cold. I said, don't you just have some tomato soup? He said, the gazpacho is awfully nice. I said, well, bring me a big bowl of that. He brought it, and Dad blamed if it wasn't cold as ice. Oh, you can have those high-priced gourmet restaurants. The waiters act snooty, and they walk kind of fruity, and they won't bring you what you want. I like greens, cornbread, and beans, and a big old glass of iced tea. I tell you, friends, them gourmet restaurants ain't for me. A few months later, some friends insisted we try out the Chateau LaRouche. After waiting for an hour and a half, we finally sat down. Heck, I couldn't even read the menu. So I asked the waiter, how's the beef? He said, this steak tartare is the best you'll ever have. He brought it, and friends, I thought I'd seen rare meat. This one wasn't even hurt very bad. A couple of Band-Aids, and that boy would be back out there grazing again. Well, I just couldn't eat that steak tartare. I was confused in every way. I wasn't even too sure about the soup du jour. I hear they change it every day. Then the waiter said, Monsieur, I have frog's legs that are guaranteed to please. I said, well, hooray, boy, hop on back here in the kitchen and bring me a grilled cheese. Or you can have them high-priced gourmet restaurants. The waiters act snooty and they walk kind of fruity and they won't bring you what you want. Now, I like greens, cornbread, beans, and a big old glass of iced tea. I tell you, friends, them gourmet restaurants ain't for me. Then they said I ought to at least try out the wonderful desserts. Hadn't been able to eat nothing else. I figured, heck, what can it hurt? I said I'd like a little ice cream. The waiter said, if that is your desire, the cherries jubilee is magnifique. And when he brought it, heck, it was still on fire. I jumped up, throwed one of them big old bowls of cold tater soup on it before it could set off the sprinkler system. Probably saved them from a major fire. But did they appreciate it? No. They told me not to never come back. You don't have to worry about that. You can have those high-priced gourmet restaurants. The waiters act snooty and they walk kind of fruity and they won't give you what you want. I like greens, cornbread, and beans, and a big old glass of iced tea. I tell you, friends, them gourmet restaurants ain't for me. They said the food at that place was fit for a king. They were right. Here, king. Here, boy. Beef tornado. What's that? Steak's been run over by an Oldsmobile? I tell you, boys, I've heard of chocolate eggs and chocolate bunny rabbits, but a chocolate mousse ain't never gonna catch on. Seems to me all you got to do to qualify for gourmet food is for it to be raw or on fire. You can have those high-priced gourmet restaurants. The waiters act snooty and they walk kind of fruity and they won't bring you what you want. I like greens, cornbread, and beans, and a big old glass of iced tea. I tell you, friends, them gourmet restaurants ain't for me.
I love that. Oh, Ziggy's got, when I was at MLAG in 2015 and 2016, I stayed there in a rented RV trailer, a very comfortable thing to do.
Really?
That's a thought.
I mean, was it on site, or did you have to rent it and pull it, or how did that work? Because I might do that. I don't know if Dan's vehicle is equipped to pull one, but it might be that way. You wouldn't miss anything driving back and forth to a hotel. You know.
Well, there's that.
I have to talk to Dan about that.
But
yeah, Ziggy, did you rent it and pull it down there, or did they put it there for you, or how did that work? I'd like to know if you don't mind leaving a comment, sir.
Nan said LOL in caps on that one. We love that one.
Oh, I'll tell you, it's hard to get a belly laugh out of me, but I was ROFL on that one.
Yes. Somebody came back. Sherry's here. Love
Hey,
the
Sherry.
song. Hey, Sherry.
Sherry Gillespie from Foodland.
Gillespie, yes.
Yeah. How are you, Sherry? Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you are doing well, and your mom and your husband and everybody.
Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, indeed. I'm glad you were able to pop in and join us for a little while here.
Yes. You have Lulu, that dog.
She is probably trying to settle me down, because I'll tell you what, I was...
We were not happy earlier.
I was hip pockets and elbows.
We weren't.
Earlier.
Yeah.
I really was. I wasn't sure we were even going to get this done today. At least we did do that. So that may or may not be a good thing. I don't know.
The button poppers.
Oh, no. Here's another poem. Here's another them poem
Okay.
that we wrote, Miss Linda and I. Them button poppers.
Oh, yeah.
There's a button poppers cookbook, by the way.
Yes, it has all kind of wonderful, delectable delights and treats.
Weight gaining recipes.
Well, they have blueberry muffin recipe in there that's to die for.
And their lemon
And
cake.
the lemon cake is the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was a whole book, and then we inherited it from her folks when her mama passed away. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna have her look through it with me one of these days. How about them button poppers? Ain't they gluttons, eating lots of food and popping they buttons, popping them big buttons, popping them tiny, popping them middle buttons, oh so shiny. Look at them button poppers. I knew I was going to do this. Look at them button poppers, ain't they extreme? Popping they buttons, splitting they seams. Them roly-poly button poppers giving us a scare. Buttons popping off and flying everywhere. How to be a button popper? If you're inclined to try, pop a few buttons and watch them fly.
That's right. What is it you want?
She just wants to be
I think she just wants
She's a good
some
girl.
affection.
She's a good dog. Yeah, your song is coming up. That's right.
Yeah, Ziggy said it was brought to the site and set up by the company from which I rented the trailer.
Whoa. That is, I am really glad that you came by today, Ziggy, because I did not want to stay in a motel, half hour away from the
Yeah, where you got
from the
travel
site.
time and you,
Wow.
because you wouldn't be on site.
Okay.
Lulu
I'm
quit
gonna
it,
I'm gonna
Sweetie
check
quit.
with the MLAG folks and see if we can do that.
What is it?
Man, that's really great.
This
Thank
person
you,
can't
sir.
fix you. No, go see Daddy.
Thank you very much.
You're a good girl.
Lulu, sit. Good dog. Lulu, down. Come on. Come on.
There
That's
you
right.
go there.
That's the best you can do. Be good. I know she'll be popped up in a
She
minute.
just did.
All right, that's all. No, that's all. You can't have any more
Stop
things.
playing buttons and
That's right. Let's go play fetch, or even better, go somewhere. We could.
she
go
did
for a
want to play
walk.
Kong earlier, and somebody was
Someone was burning trash, and it was
something.
terrible. Okay.
Sherry said, "Hey everyone, I did hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving, and give Lulu a pet, and that I miss y'all too."
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
This next song is the hardest melody, the hardest tune that I've ever tried to play on this Autoharp.
Ziggy, hold on a minute, Ziggy. I got links to RV trailer companies from the MLAG website to give you.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what we're going to do. That's absolutely what we're going to do. This song, this tune, is the hardest tune I've ever tried to play in my life on this Autoharp. And this is just a standard Oscar Schmidt 21 chord Model 21C Autoharp. So the top row is all majors, the middle row is all sevenths, and the bottom row is 5 minors, a seventh, and an A flat major. So it's not set up the best for this, but I wanted to play this awful bad, and that's probably what I'm going to do. Are you ready?
Okay.
Somewhere overweight people just like me must have some place where folks don't count every calorie. Somewhere overweight people have a ball in a land where they never heard of cholesterol, where folks can eat just what they want and still be slim and trim and gaunt. You'll find me where every little thing I taste won't wind up showing on my waist, or worse, behind me. Somewhere overindulging is so divine. If their waistline's not bulging, why then, oh why is mine? If bluebirds weighed as much as I, you'd see some big fat bluebirds in the sky. That worked out.
I really did. Ziggy said they have to go somewhere over the rainbow.
I guess so.
Yes.
That's why they put it to that tune. That we bought a 3 CD set called The Best of Barbershop from the Publishers Clearinghouse. Remember those people? Publishers Clearinghouse, they win $1 million, get $1 million for life, and nobody ever wins things. Everybody buys a lot of stuff. Those people. And it was on there.
Nan said, "Cute, love it."
Thank you. It's done by a quartet called the Rumors. RUMORS, as in rumors going around. Okay. So I got through that.
Chicken Gordon Blues P Ballad /C Goodman /T Montalvo.
This was this is called Chicken Cordon Blues, and it was done by Steve Goodman out of Chicago. And here it is. When I first met you, baby, you fed me on chicken and wine. Steak and potatoes, lobster, and I sure felt fine. But lately all you give me is seaweed and alfalfa sprouts and sunflower seeds, and I got my doubts. You left me here with the chicken cordon blues. My stomach's so empty, all I have is food for thought. I'm sitting here thinking about the 20 pounds of groceries we bought. We bought 10 pounds of brown rice and 5 more beans, 5 pounds of granola, and you know what that means. I'm just a regular fella with the chicken cordon blues. Starved for affection, babe, I can't take much more. This food is so weird, all the cockroaches move next door. You see that old dog out in the street, he's got a smile on his face 'cause they let him eat meat. I'm left with the lemons and the chicken cordon bleu. Honeymoon is definitely over there, isn't it?
Sherry said Lulu is wanting her time to shine on camera.
Oh, yeah. Well, she usually...
I bopped that. I'm terribly sorry.
Microphone.
I moved.
Yeah, well, she deserves it.
She certainly.
She's the best dog there is right now.
Yes.
Stay tuned, because I'm gonna tell you a little bit about dogs here in just a little bit. And no, we're not going to eat them.
No.
Actually, we're getting pretty close. What time is it, by the way?
I've got 2:53.
Okay, well, we're going to go
Listen,
a little
who
over.
was it that was talking about roast duck? But it.
I was at Guide Dog's class one time when I got Bullet, a male German Shepherd that I had, and the cook. She was a wonderful cook. I mean, that's one thing they do, feed you well at guide dog schools. And the last Sunday we were all going to be there, she came along, and they always told you what they were serving you and where it was on your plate and all that, so you could, eat it without wearing it. And she comes along and says, "Tonight, we have roast duck."
It did not sound like duck.
And we all always ate with the same groups so that there wasn't confusion. The guy to my left put an elbow in my ribs, and she walked away and said, "What did she say?" Is that what they do with the ones that don't make it?
Right.
It was roast duck, of course.
Yes. We shouldn't make fun of the way people talk, but
we shouldn't. But
I mean,
I wasn't the only one. But I wasn't going to say anything because I'll eat anything once.
Not that.
But I wasn't about to eat dog.
Not a dog. No.
I mean, some family raised that dog. You don't serve it for supper. Anyway. Here is another song. This is a song this time by Shel Silverstein. It's called The Diet Song. Breakfast, black coffee, a piece of dry toast. No butter, no jelly, no jam. Lunch is some lettuce and 2 celery stalks. No booze, no potatoes, no ham. Dinner's 1 chicken wing, broiled and not fried. No gravy, no biscuits, no pie. And this diet and diet and diet and diet and sure is a rough way to die. So pass me a carrot stick, peel me a prune, a glass of skim milk, and that's all. Turn off the TV for that Big Mac commercial. It's driving me straight up the wall. I'm thinking of French fries and sausage and waffles, spaghetti and cookies and cake. And at night I am dreaming of chocolate ice cream, and I'm starving to death when I wake. Oh, you're making the kids all those cream mashed potatoes, but it's bouillon and water for me. You put a lock on the refrigerator, Lord knows where you're hiding the key. And while I am starving for food late at night, I'm starved for affection from you. But you say that when I can see my own, you'll be happy to look at it too. Oh, supper's 2 pieces of cauliflower raw, a beefsteak the size of a nail, 1 sliced tomato, a dab of coleslaw. I swear I ate better in jail. Stop eating that pizza right under my nose. Girl, that's the least you can do. And put down that candy bar while I am singing. I'm starving my ass off for you. And when I am dead with the insurance paid, you'll look at me and you'll grin. And you'll say the boy tried, and he suffered, and he died. But don't he look good when he's thin?
Oh,
Yep.
no. Becky said that's funny about our story. About
Yeah.
and Ivan Stiles is watching.
Hello, Ivan.
Hi, Ivan.
Welcome, you and Nancy. Can't wait for your concert tomorrow.
Yes.
And y'all, if you want to hear some really good Autoharp playing, go to the Ivan Stiles Facebook page tomorrow at 1.
Yes.
I'm sorry, at 2 o'clock Eastern time, the same time as this was today. And he will give you an hour of his best. And I'll tell you what, you gotta climb a pretty tall tree to get above his best. Now that's all there is to it.
Yes, well said. Ziggy said you took a fine time to leave me, Lucille. That's the tune, isn't it? It's the same tune,
Not exactly.
but it's close. He's got a good ear because that's very close. I wondered about that too.
The chorus is different, but the verse, let's sing. Bar in Toledo, across from the depot, on a
Yeah.
bar stool, she took off her ring.
It's very close.
Yeah, it's very close,
very
Ziggy.
close,
That's true.
Ziggy.
That's true. I don't happen to know all the words, or I'd just bust out and do it for you, but I could probably come close. I sang that many a drunken night when I was doing bar gigs. See, drunks always want to hear the same songs over and over. That's you get your gig together, and they don't want to hear anything else mostly. Here is a song called Food Blues. So after all the dieting and everything else, one of the ways to lose weight is to look at all the things you really shouldn't eat. And here's a song that was done by Bobby Bear called The Food Blues. I was waiting in Rosie's restaurant when a waiter came up and said, "What do you want?" I looked at the menu and it looked so nice till he said, "Let me give you some advice. Spaghetti and taters got too much starch. Pork chops and sausage are bad for your heart. There's hormones in chicken, in beef and veal. A bowl of ravioli is a dead man's meal. Bread's got preservatives, there's nitrites and ham, artificial coloring and jellies and jams. Stay away from donuts and run away from pies. Pepperoni pizza is a sure way to die. Sugar rots your teeth, makes you put on weight. Artificial sweeteners got cyclamates. Eggs got cholesterol, there's fat and cheese. Coffee ruins your kidneys and so does tea. Fish got mercury, red meat is pies, and salt's gonna send your blood pressure rising. Hot dogs and bologna got deadly red dye. Vegetables and fruits are sprayed with pesticides. They're bad for you. So I said, "What can I eat that's going to make me last?" He said, "A small drink of water in a sterilized glass." Then he stopped and he thought for a minute, said, "Never mind the water, there's carcinogenics in it." So I got up from the table and walked out in the street, realizing there was nothing I could eat. I ain't eaten for a month and I'm feeling fine, 'cause he did not mention beer, whiskey, women, and sweet red wine.
Howard had to leave. He said, "Thanks for another great show. I'll see you in a couple of weeks."
Please do.
Bye
Come on
from
back,
the
Howard.
wilds
Tell
of
your
Illinois.
friends, and we'll say goodbye to you from Texas.
No,
And,
Illinois.
Illinois. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
Illinois.
sorry. I'm sorry,
You
Howard. I
straight-
got you mixed up with Joe Harrell. I know you're not alike, and you don't even have the same name, but you'll have to forgive my aging brain.
And Ivan said, "Can't believe I forgot you were playing. Here for the end."
Hey, that's bad. That's all right. You can go back and listen to it if you get a minute.
But we do have, it is 3:02.
Okay, well,
So we're about
anyway,
out of time.
That's
so
okay. Well, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Do you want to do the in heaven?
Yeah, we do that one real quick.
I didn't know beer was a food group,
That's right.
but if you think,
about it,
it's got barley, hops, yeast. I mean,
food group.
they put barley, flour, and yeast in bread, right? It's got to be a food group.
Yay.
Here's a song that Lynn and I are going to do together. It's called "In Heaven There Is No Beer," and I'm going to do an instrumental first.
Okay, I got you. In heaven there is no beer, that's why we drink it here. And when we're gone from here, our friends will be drinking all the beer. In heaven there is no beer, that's why we drink it here. And when we're gone from here, our friends they'll be drinking all the beer. heaven there is no beer. That's why we drink it here. And when we're gone from here, well, our friends, they'll be drinking all the beer. And when we're gone from here, all our friends, they'll be drinking all the beer. Yeah. Oh, Ivan said he was working on his program for tomorrow, so.
Oh, well, that's a good... your excuse.
Your excuse.
That's a good excuse. Okay, you don't even have to bring a note.
Right. And Ziggy said, beer is fluid bread with a wink face. And
Yes.
And Sherry said, y'all sound amazing together. And thank
you. Thank you very much.
Ivan did a happy laugh face that popped and went up, flew up. One of those.
Okay.
Ziggy said, nice harmony singing. And Nan said, love it.
Thank you. Well, folks, we're not quite to the end yet, but I'm going to do one more song as soon as I try to alleviate the...
Reliviate. Now
Reliviate.
there's a word.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't know. It's vaguely obscene. I'm sorry I said it, folks.
Well, it's better than efforting. Some of these other people have come up with.
Yeah, some of the news people in my day, back in my day, they were literate. They spoke properly and everything. Now they're
Yes.
efforting and doing all these things. So I'm efforting not to be like that.
That's right.
Anyway, the last song that I'm going to do, other than the closer that we always do, it has nothing to do with food. And it's kind of appropriate that Lulu has been ducking in and out of the show all day. As most of you know, I have a really close kinship with dogs. One of my earliest childhood memories was laying on our living room floor with my head on the side of a boxer named Cindy, who was laying there with her paws around me to make sure I was okay. We had dogs all my life. When I was growing up, my father raised and trained beagles. I got my first. I've had 7 wonderful canines who guided me through every stage of my life, from the time I left home and went to college till retirement and old age. And you had to be 18 to get a guide dog back when I got mine. I got my first one in August of 1971. We met on August 10th of that year. And she was a female Doberman named Penny. Some of my family members know her, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And she was with me when I left my childhood home, when I started college, met and eventually married my lovely wife Linda, graduated from college, and got my first job. My second guide dog was a male German Shepherd named Thor. He was there for the birth of our 2 children and our move from Columbus, Ohio to Lancaster, a job change where I became the head of a department. My third dog was a female German Shepherd named Tisha, and Tisha really was there for a lot of life events. She was there when I finished went back to college to get a degree in computer science. She was there when I graduated with that degree. She was there when we moved from Columbus, Ohio, down to Huntsville, Alabama, in 1984, and we've been in Alabama ever since, and we'll probably die here. I don't plan on going anywhere else. She was there when I got my first full-time job in computer work. I worked for a radio station for a number of years, and I wrote all the software that that operates that radio station, and she was there for a lot of that, and we walked miles and miles through the Alabama countryside, she and I. And then my next dog was a male German Shepherd named Bullet. Remember Roy Rogers' dog? His name was Bullet.
Yeah,
And I didn't have him very long, unfortunately, but he was an absolutely great dog. And if you laughed at him or made fun of him, he'd come up and gently nip the tip of your nose. He didn't like that. And I remember the other male shepherd I had, Thor, he could pick up a balloon in his mouth and not break it and carry it around. It was amazing. And after Bullet, I had my first lab, a male yellow lab named Corky, and he was the fun-lovin'est dog I ever had, guide dog or not. He loved to play tug of war, and he could not deal with empty beverage cans. He wouldn't touch them if they had stuff still in them. But as soon as he found an empty can, he would gently pick it up, not dent it, and bring it to me. And I would have to take it and throw it in the recycle bin. If I put it down, he'd pick it back up and give it to me again. I don't know who taught him that, but anyway, I had him for like 8 years. He was with us when we moved to this location in 2000, where we lived ever since, and probably will till they put us in the rest home. And then I had my sixth dog was a male German Shepherd named Turley, and he was there when I got the best job I ever had, that made me enough money to get us completely out of debt, and we were debt free. And then Lulu, my seventh dog, was there for my retirement and into my old age. So I have owned dozens of dogs. I have trained or helped to train hundreds of dogs. And dogs are just a huge part of my life. So I'm going to end this today. Thank you for indulging me while I reminisce.
Jerry Burgess Jr. is watching.
Hey, Jerry.
Jerry's been here with us.
Come on by and see us one of these days.
Yeah,
Doggone
come on, man.
it. We'd come see you, but we don't know where you're at.
Right.
Anyway, this is a song that I found on a YouTube live concert done by Tom Chapin, Harry Chapin's brother, at the Cafe Lena in Saratoga, New York. It's called Old Dogs and Old Friends. She was only a puppy, 6 weeks or so. We got her one Christmas a long time ago. How long has it been? Thinking back when, if you're counting in dog years, 110. Walking an old dog is funny to see. The old dog is thinking that she's walking me. Tied up together, two lives are entwined. Who's leading who? Never you mind. We go out walking in sunshine or rain, happy to hold up our end of the chain. If I survive to 110, it's thanks to old dogs and old friends.
No. I wish you had.
We used to go out each day for a run. Now it's a leisurely stroll in the sun. Like two old friends all set in their ways, poking along at the end of their days. We'd go out walking in springtime and fall, no longer care who's leading at all. If I survive to 110, it's thanks to old dogs and old friends. That's how I met you. We're sitting alone, talking about all the dogs that we've known, watching the light fade at summer's end. Nothing compares to old dogs and old friends. We go out walking in rain, sleet, or snow, no longer care who's best in show. If I survive to 110, it's thanks to old dogs and old friends. We go out walking year after year, and I'm so thankful that you're still here. If I survive to 110, it's thanks to old dogs and old friends. Thanks to old dogs and old friends. Thanks, old friends.
Yes. Sherry said, my dogs are my life and my kids wouldn't have it any other way.
You know that you've got too many Great Danes when your kids think it's normal to hold their peanut butter sandwich above their head.
That's right.
Well, now it's time to say goodbye to George and all his kin. We'd sure like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back real soon to this locality to have a heaping helping of our hospitality. Home style, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now here.
Nan said, thanks for another great show.
Oh, thank you. Hey, by the way, guys, next one is our Christmas show.
Yes.
You won't want to miss that one. Oh, yeah. A Twisted Christmas.
There you go.
Or we might call it a COVID Christmas. I don't know, but it'll be fun-filled and full of laughs. You can bet on that. 2 weeks from today, same time, same place. If the good Lord willing and the COVID don't get us, everybody stay safe and healthy.
Yeah.
And we love
Seriously.
every last one of you. We're sure glad you came down to visit with us today and hope you can come again real soon.